Hey, Footy fans. Welcome back to the podcast, episode 25, quarter of a century.
25 in.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I mean, it's episode number 25, but I think we've actually posted more than that. We've done like 25. Remember a couple of episodes ago, we did like 21.5
Oh, yeah.
or something. So maybe we've done more than
episode.
25. I have to go check the stats. I have to go back and look at it. But we've done a lot. And just give a shout out quickly to our subscribers on YouTube. Everyone following us. We just hit 200 subscribers. We really appreciate it. Keep hitting the subscribe button. Keep hitting the like button. Next step is 500.
500, yeah.
Get to Mr. Beast, 192 million.
Yeah, we'll slowly inch our way there.
100 employees.
He was just on Joe Rogan, wasn't he?
Yeah, that's where I watched a bunch of his stuff.
Yeah. I didn't see that one. I saw that he went on there, but I didn't watch it yet or listen to it.
Yeah. No, he was a super. We're just going to talk about YouTube now. He was like a super early adopter, I guess.
Yeah.
And I guess the first video he posted got like 20,000 views.
His first ever video?
Yeah. And that's when he got hooked. I mean, obviously back then, I think this was 2006.
Oh, man, that's huge then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
That's a lot.
no, I was just looking at his channel. 92 million on YouTube. And then he's got like, I think he said he has like 200 in total across like all his platforms. So yeah, that's our next goal.
92 million. That's
So-
like, what country has 92 million people?
Well, he
Like-
actually, he said he
Mexico?
started, well, he like just even recently started getting a lot of traction too, because he realized, oh, only 10% of the population speaks English. So he got translators to do his videos in like Portuguese, Spanish, and what have you.
Smart. Vietnam.
And-
Vietnam's got 97 million.
Yeah.
So the entire country of Vietnam is subscribed to Mr.
Yeah.
Beast.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's obviously a huge opportunity when you're able to translate everything. Because, yeah, even just that metric, 10% speaking English, you have all these other people that...
But if you were to put like captions on it, like you can, if you're in your home country, you can choose captions in different languages, right?
No, but you have to generate those captions.
Oh, so you have
YouTube-
to create it yourself.
As far as I'm aware,
I think they have the built-in one. They have the closed captions.
Yes, they have that.
They have that.
Yeah, for English, yeah. Like for my company, we can put closed captions and it'll show them in English.
Yeah.
But unless you're speaking the language, it won't just auto-translate for you in a different language.
Oh,
Yeah.
But I think it's like just even having it in that language is still like obviously a lot better.
Yeah, for sure.
And he said he gets voice actors to do it, and I guess someone's super famous. He's coming out with the Japan one, and someone super famous in Japan's going to do it, and he said everyone's going to freak out because it's actually like a really famous person.
that's really cool.
Okay. What's his YouTube channel about?
I think
It started with him like eating something. Like I think his first ever video might have been him eating like a Carolina Reaper pepper in like 2006, I guess, and then he kind of kicked off from there, and he's got a whole collection of videos now.
he has a bunch of different stuff. I know some of it he gives away a lot of stuff. So like he'll give away like a house.
Well, 98 million subscribers later, you probably afford it.
Yeah. But no, he does like weird stuff like he this one 456,000 Squid Game in real life. By the way, we're not affiliated with in any way with Mr. Beast, obviously. He has no
I mean,
idea who we are.
if his people want to reach out, I mean, we could be like his official soccer channel or something for playlists.
Yeah.
Get under his banner. I'll do it. I'm a sucker. I'll
He has
sell
a
out.
bunch. He has like he has Beast
I'll be a
Philanthropy.
sellout.
He has Beast Philanthropy, Mr. Beast Gaming, Beast Reacts.
There's a lot of people on YouTube who do it for the wrong reason, and he seems like he's doing it for the genuine reason. Like, yeah, he's there to make money too, but he also gives back.
Yeah. And I guess he was super awkward in high school, or just in school in general, and he hated it. And he would just nerd out on YouTube, like all the time. And that's how he got good, like with the analytics on the back end.
Yeah, and especially for starting at a young age, or starting when YouTube was just coming out. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's like getting into Apple stock in the 80s. Like you're just on top of the world. Like you just
Getting into Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
What, 15 years ago, 10 years ago, get to Bitcoin.
Yeah.
That'd be cool. All right, so we're an English Premier League podcast, and we're here to talk about. Probably the biggest match of the weekend was the Manchester derby. Man City being dominant winners over United. I don't think. I mean, the scoreline itself, like 4-1, is pretty dominating in itself, but I don't think we saw it going any other way. Like I didn't see United, putting in a fair fight. First half alone though, they actually did okay.
Well,
but then it was
after City scored,
they had to get rolling though. Like
but after City scored, Man U was really bringing it to City, oddly enough. And then, they got their goal, and I was like, oh, is this going to be another weird situation where City just ties or drops points in a game they should win? And then, I don't know what happened, but second half came around. And
De Bruyne happened right away.
Yeah.
De Bruyne happened.
Yeah. I mean, there was that, but the second half was just, I don't even know, men against boys, to put it lightly.
Yeah. I mean, we've talked at lengths about Man City and Manchester United and how, not just this season, but the last couple of years, there's a huge disconnect between the two teams in Manchester. Looking at it historically, obviously United has been the breadwinner of the city for decades and decades, but the evolution and the turn of Pellegrini coming there when he did to Man City, the influx of money coming from the new ownership, has Man City been obviously they have overtaken United, but do you think they've overtaken them as the most popular club in the city? Or do you think the United fan base is still there?
Yeah, I mean, I do think the United fan base isn't really going to go anywhere. But I would be interested to see a stat, what is the ratio between City and United fans?
Because the City fans are all new fans.
Pulled it up.
Oh, Joe's got it.
Yeah.
Here you go.
Joe's pulling Jamie.
Jamie on Joe Rogan podcast. Yeah. Unofficial role. So really, I don't know how accurate this is. Stadium maps. Just trying to see. As of May 30th, 2021, Man U has 73 million fans worldwide. Chelsea's in second with 49 million. Man City with 40 million.
That's worldwide, though, yeah. I mean, worldwide, I think United's going to carry.
Yeah.
But I just mean, in Manchester proper, that whole area. Obviously, there's the diehards that are always going to be City Blue. Mm-hmm. But I wonder, the new generation. If you're a young kid, let's say your parents aren't affiliated with soccer at all. You have no background or support from either club, in your lineage or anything. You're just an 8-year-old kid.
Yeah. And
you're turning the TV on Saturday and Sunday morning. You're going to watch Man City and be like, this is the team I want to follow. This team has been winning a bunch of times. Unless you go on the Google machine and look up past champions, you're not going to know United won anything in the last 10 years, basically. So you're going to see Man City and be like, this is the team I'm going to follow. I'm going to become a Man City fan.
Yeah.
So I think they have the new young blood of supporters. But yeah, like I said, historically, the old crowd is going to support Man United.
Yeah.
But the new wave of fans going City's way, I think.
Yeah, I mean, they play probably the most attractive football right now in Europe. At least I think so. The last several seasons, I've really enjoyed watching them play. Even today, I watched them against Sporting, knowing it was probably not going to be much of a match, seeing as City won the first leg 5-0.
Ooh.
It's just really attractive football that they play. I mean, I don't see it really, but any other team, maybe Bayern, when they're really playing well, but Bayern can have some really off days. Not to say Man City can't, but Bayern has hit some rough patches this season. It's just really attractive football to watch, and I'm always excited to see how they play and what they can pull off in a game. So yeah, I can definitely see young kids now just hopping on the Man City bandwagon.
Yeah, it's not very clear in Manchester specifically which one's more popular. But yeah, if your parents aren't Man U fans, I'm not sure
if you don't have
the
a solid
attractiveness
reason.
is. If you don't have a solid reason to be a Man U fan or a City fan and you're on the fence, I'm not sure if you can look at Man U and be like, oh yeah, this is it's just that. And even if you ask some of the diehard fans, they'll be like, our ownership's a mess.
Mm-hmm.
So I think a lot of that frustration, I'm not sure what's going to happen, but we even talk about it how when you look at Man City's ownership, not Sheikh Mansour. I know he's the owner, but they're like, I don't know if it's their GM or
their CEO or director or
they're that guy. When I hear him talk, I'm like, this guy is there to like be the best, you know. And then you look at Man U, and you're just like, these guys just want to make money.
Mm-hmm. Before the podcast started, we were kind of spitballing ideas of what to talk about, especially with this game in particular. And I put out the idea of making a starting 11 just based on players from Manchester. And I quickly took that back because it would basically be Man City starting 11 that they put out against United.
Yeah.
And the only player that I think we all could agree on was maybe Bruno Fernandes getting in there somewhere in the starting 11. But who are you taking out from Man City?
Yeah,
I'm not taking out anyone. And it's funny how you mentioned that. We were just really all over Man City, and we should reiterate. I wouldn't call myself a Man City fan.
You're a huge Man City fan.
Well, I'm a fan of the team. I wouldn't say I'm a Man City fan like the fans that actually go to the games.
Like Joe?
And
yeah,
like Joe.
All the time.
I just really like how they play, and I like just the entire structure of the team. I'm not particularly upset if they lose, or I'm not like really sold out to be a Man City fan for the rest of my life type thing.
You're a fan of football. You're a fan of just watching the games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a fan of like watching good teams play well and win.
And you give the appreciation like when it's due.
Yeah.
But you guys do both lead heavy Man City.
Well,
which is fine.
I do.
It's fine.
I do because they deserve to win the title, I guess. You know what I mean? So when I see, and that's why I get frustrated when I see like VAR results don't go City's way on certain occasions.
Because you're a fan.
Well, no, because come the end of the season, if Liverpool wins, I could be like, I don't think the best team won the league in the end. And I know Liverpool fans would be like all like upset, but it's just. Man City at their best is the best. I guess we would put it that way. But back to your point on the starting 11, yeah, like looking at this team right now, I can't really say like, maybe Grealish on an off day is worse than Sancho when he's on. I know Sancho's been, getting a few goals lately, but yeah, there's no one I would really.
Maybe even think Bruno Fernandes for Grealish, because he's kind of. I think Bruno Fernandes and Bernardo Silva are similar to an extent, where they can be moved around the pitch pretty much anywhere they want, or like anywhere the manager like needs them to play or to show up, they can kind of do it. Like in this game here, Bruno Fernandes, according to the starting 11 lineup, was playing striker for United.
Yeah,
we've seen him line up on the left side before, next to whoever's playing in the middle. We've seen him in the middle supporting the strikers. And we've also seen him before, drop back with either McTominay or Fred on like alongside him.
Mm-hmm.
Bernardo Silva is kind of same in that sense. And for them to both be Portuguese, like what a blessing for Portugal, to have these two guys at your disposal. But maybe he's the only other player that I could think of. I mean, Sancho's a good pick too, because like Joe said, when he's on, he's on. But I think Bruno Fernandes has been the best player at United for the last couple of seasons, and a lot of their success has come from him because he's shown up and just either created goals out of nothing or like scored the goals out of nowhere that have been timely goals for United. But I mean, I don't see him replacing Mahrez. De Bruyne, obviously not. Maybe Foden, because I don't think Foden's like that versatile to play that center spot up there, up top. Yeah. Obviously, they do have like tons of movement between the top three, but I think maybe Fernandes is better than Foden. That's just my opinion. But yeah, I mean, it's heavily blue favored.
Yeah.
In the starting 11, if we were to make our starting 11,
maybe like what I would do probably is just put Foden where Grealish is, and maybe put Ronaldo up top. But
that'd be gross.
Everyone, keep in mind we're picking Ronaldo in March 2022. I'm not saying obviously Ronaldo from 7 years ago. Wouldn't get in the side. Like just being realistic about what Ronaldo's stats are.
Yeah, this is right now, like in real time.
Yeah,
like just looking at the 11 from last weekend.
Yeah, because you look like De Bruyne, Sterling, and Mahrez all have more goals than Ronaldo. So it's like, yeah,
and that's why he was brought there.
Yeah,
because United didn't know what was going to happen with Rashford. because he was obviously been injured on and off the pitch last few seasons. Sancho coming in the side for the first time this season. Slow start, not knowing how he's going to perform.
Yeah.
So I think they really turned to Ronaldo as probably their primary goal scorer, and like what a dream start he had to the season.
Yeah, he was just on fire.
What was he scoring, like 5 goals in 5 games or something?
Yeah.
Whatever it was. And then since basically Christmas, he's really, trailed off. And he's now not getting into the side. Ragnick's not starting to pick him as often. I think I called this way back when he joined the team. Wait until the season kind of goes on and goes further and more games are played. He's going to play the younger guys like Elanga coming on, getting the start here. Sancho getting the start next to Pogba in the spot that Ronaldo would normally play on the left wing. So maybe it's fitness catching up with him, which is crazy because he's this absolute specimen.
Yeah.
But
Fittest player.
yeah, but maybe it's just like, the training in like week to week and whatever it is taking a toll on his body and he wants to rest. Maybe this isn't the proper game to rest him against Man City. You would think you'd want your best foot forward. He wasn't even on the bench this game, so maybe he was actually hurt. I'm not totally sure. But no appearance from him, and Cavani's gone, right? Did they get rid of Cavani in the transfers?
I don't know. I don't remember seeing that in any of the transfers.
Okay, no, he's still there.
I didn't see him in any of the transfer news.
I know there's a bunch of rumors about a lot of Man U players wanting out, Rashford being one of them, and Ronaldo being one of them.
It's just difficult for them, right? Like
just waiting for Ronaldo to make the move to PSG and link up with Messi.
Oh my God,
that would be amazing.
Don't even start to say that.
They
PSG could really need him though.
They're still gonna
after today. They could.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, we can touch on that just real quick because we watched all the highlights of the game. We aren't an English Premier League podcast, but we will hit on the big games when they show up. PSG Real Madrid today, round of 16 Champions League. PSG coming into the match with a 1-0 lead on aggregate. Games in Madrid, away goal gone this year.
Yeah.
Which I don't like very much. I like having the away goal rule.
You like that?
I do. Anyways, PSG comes out firing, scored 2 goals in the first half. One first half goal.
One goal first half.
1 goal first half, 1 goal second half. Took a 2-0 lead.
No.
What? No, they've got one
2-0 lead on the aggregate.
Yeah. So, sorry. Scored 1 goal in the first half. Took a 2-0 lead on aggregate.
Yeah.
And then Madrid storms back and scores. Well, Benzema scores 3 goals
Benzema
scores 3 goals in 17 minutes.
Yeah.
For Madrid, his last goal coming in the 80th minute, I believe, to put Madrid up 3-1. That was a crazy game.
Yeah.
What a second half. And what else can PSG really do to get off that hump of not winning Champions League? Them and Man City, just for parallels, are kind of same that way.
Yeah.
They're dominant in their domestic league. They win other tournaments whether domestically or Community Shield or whatever it's called, or Champions Cup, whatever the hell whatever made up tournament you want to call it. And then when it comes to the big one, they just can't get over the hump. They can't win Champions League.
Yeah.
Who's going to do it first? Man City or PSG?
I think Man City.
Mm-hmm.
Just because at least Man City has gotten to a final. And it's Pep.
PSG got there 2 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. I don't know. I mean, I speaking about how well they perform in their respective domestic leagues, obviously it's harder for City to have the dominance they have in the EPL as opposed to PSG in France. No disrespect to League One, but I still see a lot of gaps, in the PSG team. I think I just do have a sense that City will probably win it before them. But yeah, both of them just can't get over the hump. And it's performances like this, obviously are the ones you have to win. You can't just blow a 2-0 aggregate lead once you have it.
Mm-hmm. And there was some luck involved with, not luck, but some circumstances that swung Madrid's way, like with Donnarumma screwing up and like coughing the ball up
Yeah.
to give Benzema his first goal, and then just the implosion of the third goal after the second goal was scored. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even know what happened there.
They just, you could feel the nervousness.
yes,
It was almost like, oh, we got scored on and it's 1-1 now.
mm-hmm.
They're probably going to score again. And you just felt like they were.
Yeah, that's off the third goal scored by Benzema to put them over the edge there, and give them the 3-2 victory on aggregate was in the 80th minute, and I believe it was scored. Sorry, 78th minute, and it was scored right off the restart of the second goal he scored
Yeah.
to tie the game on aggregate, or to tie the series on aggregate. I think it was like 10 seconds after. Like, it was literally like this restart happened, turned it over, go down the pitch, Benzema scores,
Yeah.
and like within a 2-minute time period, PSG went from leading the match to win to now losing. Like from leading the match to tying to losing in like 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Like,
Heartbreaking.
Very strange.
check your heart rate after that one if you're a PSG fan, and if you're a Madrid fan, they're going nuts in the stands.
Yeah.
Good
Yeah,
to see
fact that they
good to
did
see
that at
fans
home,
back.
Would have been worse if they did it away, but
Well, I think it had to happen at home. Like, I think it did happen because it was at home.
yeah. Yeah, obviously there's a lot to do with it, especially with all the fans finally back. Yeah, I mean, I picked the wrong game to watch. Well, I did not watch that game. Like I said, I watched the City game.
Mm-hmm. You watched Bayern though, you said too, right?
I did watch the Bayern game. Not a convincing first leg for them, tying Salzburg.
Yeah.
Really, really bad performance by Bayern. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I know during the start of the podcast, you talked about Bayern maybe being the team to take Champions League. Was really not convinced after watching that. Then this leg, they just come out and end up winning 8-2 on aggregate. Yeah, just a massive performance by Lewandowski, you know, scoring 2 PKs. Yeah, it looked like the Bayern that did have a chance to win Champions League, so it'll be interesting to see who they draw in the next round.
I think the matchup we've been wanting to see is Bayern and Man City
Yeah.
in a final. I don't want to see it in a quarter or
Yeah.
semis because that kind of defeats the I don't know, the mystique of it. You know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you want to see these two teams play in the final because they are two of the most comparable teams I think you have out there.
Yeah.
Like you just touched on PSG, you know, being just dominant in Liga. They finished second place last year in the table. Lille was the title winners, but that was the first time that a team other than PSG won in like 10 years. When you look at the EPL table and the Bundesliga, it's basically a Bayern or Dortmund possibly, or Man City, or maybe like Liverpool.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of like who it's been the last decade, it seems like.
Yeah.
Obviously you throw in a Chelsea here and there, or, you know, I don't even know who else won in Bundesliga. Probably nobody. But like it's you always see like the Bayerns and the Man Cities there, and their playing style is kind of similar. They're very fast paced. They keep possession like crazy, and they have clinical finishers up and down the pitch for both sides. You got, you know, arguably the best left back in the world with Alphonso Davies, the Canadian boy, on Bayern, producing, doing well for them, and then you have João Cancelo on the side for Man City, along with Kyle Walker, very similar style play. You have the clinical finishing of Lewandowski. You got De Bruyne with who finishes clinically. Thomas Müller with, you know, chance creations. The speed of Leroy Sané, the speed of Raheem Sterling. Like, they just match up so evenly with each other. You just want to see them go at it.
Yeah, that's my hope for this year's final. I mean, I would love to see them both play against each other. We'll wait and see. I mean, that's gonna be a matchup for the decade if that happens. And as long as it just doesn't go a 0-0 tie all the way through to PKs.
Yeah.
That's the kind of thing, too. It's like when you have such good teams match up against each other, they, like, balance each other out.
Yeah.
And it's just like a stalemate. Like, I don't, like, who would want to see, like, a game where it's, like, exactly 400 passes each, exactly 50-50 possession, 2 shots on goal, maybe. Like, that's, like, such a shitty expectation for, like, a monumental game, right? Like, you don't want that to happen.
Yeah.
Like, you want to see fireworks. You want to see, like, a 5-4 thriller or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you need a mistake. You need a goal early.
Yeah.
In those cases, that'll always spice things up.
And that's kind of what happened in the derby this weekend with De Bruyne scoring the 5th minute.
Yeah.
I mean, there's times I think when scoring too early might hurt a team because then it allows so much time for the other team to come back and score. But the flip side would have been if United scored in the 5th minute or something. Yeah, it's great to get the early lead at times, but then now you're putting Man City on the front foot for 85 minutes.
Yeah.
In this match, Man City got the early goal and just didn't look back.
Yeah.
Like they carried the momentum. Like Joe said, United did come back with a lot of pressure, and they did score an equalizer, 15 minutes later or so. But then from that point on, you saw City take over the game.
Yeah.
And I mean, I saw Ragnick's post game afterwards, and he said like we had nothing in the second half.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't matter what he would have really done, put on different subs. He had Rashford come in, Lingard come in, 2 obviously attacking substitutions. But still, it wouldn't have really mattered. He could have put on Ronaldo, Messi, and Neymar. It wouldn't have mattered the way that City was playing.
Yeah.
By them dropping points when they did against Tottenham a couple weeks back, it did open up the window, I think, for Liverpool to kind of come in there. And I mean, we barely talk about Liverpool on this podcast because they're just so consistent.
Yeah.
And like their wins don't surprise anyone, and their results don't surprise anybody. 6 draws, 2 losses on the season for Liverpool, along with 19 wins, puts them 6 points back from Man City with 1 game in hand. So ideally, you would think they're going to win that game most likely. So they're 3 points back, level on matches played. Do we think this, one horse race that we called it a month ago when City was pulling so far away, do we think that's still secure, or do we have another title race on our hands?
No, I would say we definitely have a title race. I mean, the loss City had really hurt them. So I think it's back on. I'm not. April 10th, Man City Liverpool. Just thinking about the date there. That's going to be obviously a massive game. I think if City win that one, it's going to be kind of set for the title. It's at home for City, which obviously gives them a big advantage. But if Liverpool pull that off, it's going to be a kind of nervous closeout to the end of the season for both teams.
There's not many weeks left.
No, I mean, it's coming to a close. Like you said, a month ago, we were talking about how just Man City was pulling away, but they had a couple bad results. Just open the door for Liverpool to, like you said, just be consistent and keep getting those results. Mm-hmm. So we'll see.
Yeah, like the outlier here is obviously the 3-2 win for Tottenham over Man City. Draw against Southampton, which we touched on before, with Southampton showing up in the big games.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're really like the giant killer when it comes to that. Just they're momentum killers, really.
Yeah.
Southampton. Like you have a team go on a roll or 5 straight victories. They go against Southampton for whatever reason. They just can't solve them. They either draw or they end up even losing their match.
Mm-hmm.
Same with Palace too. Palace is one of those teams
Mm-hmm.
who always put up a good fight. But you would think the majority of the games left for Man City, especially.
They got to play Crystal Palace at home.
Yeah,
They're going to lose.
Yeah. Just call it right now. Man City's losing to Crystal
lose
Palace.
Next
Crystal
match.
Palace all the time.
Yeah, so that'd be Monday of next week. So they come off the 4-1 victory this weekend, 0-0 draw today against Sporting in Champions League, or securing their ticket to the quarterfinal. But then their next EPL match, against Crystal Palace at home. At Selhurst Park, so at home for Palace. Man, that could be a little spicy meatball for them. Let's see who Liverpool has on the flip side.
I don't think I physically watched the game where City beat Crystal Palace. I know they have before, but I wasn't watching.
Oh, they definitely have, yeah. So that game's on the Monday night, and Liverpool plays Brighton on the Saturday, so 2 days before. And then midweek on the Wednesday, Liverpool has Arsenal.
I have a feeling about this Arsenal-Liverpool game.
Arsenal away. I mean, that's a good one. I mean, it's a top 4 tilt.
Yeah, and just Arsenal's form lately, I think they're going into this into that game with. Is that their next game?
Yeah. Oh no, Arsenal has Leicester on Sunday.
Yeah,
and then the return match is on, or the next match is on.
I mean,
the 16th.
If they beat Leicester, just based on the win against Wolves and Watford, which were insane, just 2 games back to back where you just eke out a win. It's like massive, just dopamine pump.
Yep.
So if they beat Leicester, I think they're going to the Liverpool game with as much confidence as you possibly can, and it's going to be interesting.
We've been kind of waiting for this from Arsenal.
Yeah.
We've been waiting for them to have a big game because, I mean, again, we can beat a dead horse as much as we want, but at the beginning of the season, we said Arsenal was going to get relegated, and this is the worst start to their like
Arteta's going to be gone.
Yeah, their club's career or their club's existence is the worst that they've ever had. Blah blah blah. Come back and to be in 4th place now. I mean, it's a huge stretch away from winning the title, clearly. But other than if your name's not Man City or Liverpool, there's no way you're gonna win the title, or your name's even in discussion. It was a 3-horse race, and then Chelsea drastically fell off around the Christmas break. But for Arsenal to climb the table like they have, by picking up like little wins here and there, like kind of wins that go under the radar. You beat Brighton, you beat Brentford, you beat Leeds. Like just keep on like having these wins rack up, and then by the time you get to the top of the table, you're in 4th place. Like before you know it. But like I said, I think we've been waiting for the big one from Arsenal. We've been waiting for them to show up and say, like, we've arrived. We deserve to be here in the top 4. Their biggest win that they've had this season was probably
maybe the West
Ham game in December 15th. Coming off a loss against United and a loss against Everton, they kind of needed a bounce back. I guess against a big side, but they haven't really had any big wins all season. They beat Leicester away earlier in the year. Well, earlier in the season, it was actually in October, so it was last year. But this is a different Arsenal side that we've seen from that point.
Yeah.
Them winning the derby against Tottenham was obviously a huge momentum booster when that took place in September. But again, other than that, they have that win, they have the Leicester win, and then it's just the most recent form: a win against Watford, a win against Wolves, a win against Brentford. They beat up on Norwich, early in the season as well. So they have like convincing wins, but nothing that really stands out and says, "Wow, they beat this team." Wow, like they showed up and knocked off a Liverpool, knocked off a Chelsea. So these next 2 games, especially against Leicester, is always tough to play against, even though they're having a pretty lackluster season for their standards. It'll be a big win for them, and then on the flip side, the game against Liverpool could be a real one to look for. In the midweek, depending on what happens in the City game as well on Monday against Crystal Palace.
Yeah, because that one's gonna always be in question for me anyway. Just Zaha just always gives their D trouble. So I'm sure playing at home, same thing's gonna happen. But this with the games in hand, Arsenal have taking these 3 points from Liverpool is maybe 3 points that, if there's any points you would assume they would drop with all those games in hand, it would probably be the Liverpool game compared to the other ones. But if they can get 3 points from that, they're just obviously pulling farther and farther away to secure that top 4 spot.
Yeah, they could even rival Chelsea, depending on how Chelsea does the remainder of the season too.
Yes, if Chelsea keeps like declining and slowly crashes and burns.
Yep, that's my team.
What's going on with Chelsea right now?
I mean, we touched on it with Liverpool being a very consistent team, and I think Chelsea is a very inconsistent team. And the whole discussion of injuries are kind of out the window now because everyone gets hurt. Everyone kind of has like the next man up mentality. With Chelsea, though, when someone gets hurt or doesn't perform properly, the team just plays down their performance. They don't no one really says, "Okay, I'm gonna be the guy to step up now. Like I'll do it, guys. Like I'll take control here and like be the one to make the team better." Like Lukaku is clearly slumping. Our right side defense was like decimated when Reece James wasn't there. Thank God he's back now, because Marcus Alonso wasn't cutting it. I think his age is catching up with him too, and fitness wise, he wasn't able to play week in, week out like he used to. So when James got hurt, Chilwell hasn't played basically all season. So Azpilicueta is getting a lot of minutes now too, and he's getting up there in age. So we've kind of had to, play our older guys more than we want to, and I think that's kind of hurting us a little bit. Underperformance of Lukaku is a huge glaring like red flag for us. Spending the money that we did on him and the expectation we had of him coming into the season at the beginning of the year was like huge. Like everyone was like cloud nine for Lukaku. It seemed like he wanted to be there. It sounded like he wanted to come back home and play for Chelsea. The money was spent. The support was there from management, from the players, from the fan base. Everyone seemed pretty happy by it. It was kind of the fairy tale start. His first month of the year, he had some good results. He scored in his first couple games, and then he started to slowly like lose some momentum a little bit. He got hurt in a Champions League match, I believe, and was out for a little while. And then since the new year, he's just been non-existent. He hasn't shown up. He hasn't put away the goals that he should. He's creating space for himself and just not getting service, which is one thing, which is not always the striker's fault. I know from experience, it's a pain in the ass. Looking at you, Santi.
Back in the glory days of Tecumseh.
I was been wide open a lot of times. A lot of goal kicks result from those.
Hey,
from me being wide open.
But you'll see over time, things improved, and then in the Polonia days when you were right up there with. What was it? We had 3 Polonia people in the top 4 for most goals.
Yeah, that was a good season. That was a fairy tale season.
Yeah. I passed you the ball that season.
I passed you a ball a lot during that season.
Yeah, outside of the foot on a breakaway. Yeah, that was nice. The first one I think of.
That's a beauty.
Talking about Essex County Soccer League soccer here.
Hey man, it's a big deal. It's a big deal to some.
Yeah.
Got no goals.
That's not your job, Joe.
I know.
You're the glue guy.
Yep, CDM. Just kick it up to you guys that just hold the fort.
That's fine, man. You need to.
Someone's got to do it.
Yeah, someone's got to allow no goals back there. But just Chelsea's performance. I mean, Lukaku just not showing up and being as poor as he has got him out of the starting 11 now, and sometimes not even on the bench as a substitution option. And I give Tuchel credit for that. I mean, how much? It's kind of like the Harry Kane scenario. It's like, how much can you still rely on this person to give you results and give you results when he just doesn't do it? Like, it's almost like you're giving someone like an evaluation for their job. It's like you're watching someone just do poorly. Meanwhile, you have people like willing to, fill in that role, fill in that spot, and just keep giving this guy chance after chance to perform and like do better, and he just doesn't. So if you're owning a business, what are you going to do? You're probably going to fill that position.
Yeah.
And by him not starting Lukaku the last couple of games, I mean, the team has been able to like still eke out results, but you're playing against Burnley, you're playing against, Luton Town in the FA Cup. You're playing the game against Palace where they kind of scored a last minute winner there. In Chelsea's case, also they've had a lot of like non-Premier League matches that have been taking place. They've had like Champions League games against Lille. They had the EFL Cup against Liverpool. They had an FA Cup match against Luton Town. So they haven't had many EPL games to play and have Lukaku play in. But now you got Norwich tomorrow. We're recording this podcast on Wednesday night. So Thursday you have Chelsea and Norwich. This would be, again, the ideal game to start Lukaku. Play him against the lower side. Give him a little extra boost. Give him like motivation to go start. In the game against Burnley, when Chelsea was finally put a dominant performance on and then won 4-0, they had a 3-0 lead in the 55th minute with Lukaku not starting and him being available on the bench, and Tuchel still didn't put him in the game.
Yeah.
To me, that's a game you put your striker in. The game is sealed. Clearly, like, it's Burnley. They're just kind of offloading players left and right. The defense is one of the worst in the league. Put your striker in when you can and let him go at it. I mean, Burnley's allowed 36 goals this year. Actually, it isn't really that much compared to other teams.
Yeah, Everton's.
Wow, look at Leeds. 36 goals against, 22 goals for. I mean, Burnley doesn't scare me.
Yeah.
You could catch them on like a weird night once in a while. Just ask Tottenham coming off that Man City win and then facing Burnley. But again, when you have the game sealed at 3-0 in the 55th minute,
yeah,
I think that's like a manager's dream. Okay, put your striker in that's been underperforming. Like, that's the time like last season, I would want to see Werner go in at that point. Like, Timo, you haven't scored in like 8 years. Go in and play against Burnley. We got the game sealed. Go take some chances, take some risks, and part of Lukaku's like downfall the last couple of weeks and the last couple of months is he does not look like he wants to be there anymore.
Yeah.
Like you watch his body language on the pitch and he looks so dejected when he doesn't score or when he doesn't get the ball or doesn't receive service. He looks like he's going to cry in the field.
Yeah.
I've been there again. Like it sucks. Like when you're just not like you're trying your hard or it looks like you're trying your hardest and you're not, it's just not working out for you, but you're being paid millions and millions of dollars. Like you have to do better.
Yeah.
You have to try and find different ways to make your team better. You have to try and find different ways to help your team. And he just looks dejected every single time he doesn't get the ball.
Mm-hmm.
If he, if Mount takes a shot and it goes, 10 feet over the net, Lukaku puts his hands up in the air saying like I was wide open, like he's being a little crybaby about it. That's just you don't want that in your side. That's like a cancer in your team. Like you can't have your team doing that or a player doing that in your team. And it's as a player as important as Lukaku is.
Yeah. Yeah. It feels like that all kind of started when the interview came out where he was kind of bashing Chelsea and his role and the formation they were playing and not really getting the service he wanted. It all really started going downhill after that. And it just goes to show if you're not really jiving with the team, if you have a bad attitude, things rarely go your way. Ronaldo is probably the only person I can think of where maybe behind the scenes things were going well. I don't know if you guys remember, but it was in the Euro Cup, I think, when Portugal played England and Ronaldo got Rooney sent off.
Oh, yeah.
And Man U fans didn't like him. He was getting booed at all the games. He probably didn't have the best attitude when it even came to getting subbed off. But then he was still racking up,
Yeah.
He was just that good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's
he just
the whole
got
thing, right?
goals. After through all that, your job as a striker is to get goals, and he's like, I'm just going to get goals.
Yeah.
That's your only job, no matter how good you think you are as a number 9. The only stat that counts is if you get goals.
Yeah.
Like
100%.
that was the issue with City. I know. I don't know if this is just rumors, but I know Aguero and Guardiola maybe weren't totally on the same page. I know they had like dinner together. I don't know if it's just rumors or what have you. But at the end of the day, Aguero was just getting goals. And as a coach, you have to play the guy that's getting you goals, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would love to have that problem right now. If Tuchel and Lukaku hate each other, that's fine.
Yeah.
If Lukaku's got 25 goals this season,
Yeah.
Like,
fine if the
that's
fans
fine by me.
fans hate you. And this was what really struck me about the whole Diego Costa situation. I mean, I know Chelsea's been struggling for a striker since Drogba left, and I thought they had it with.
we did have it.
And then they just
I love Diego Costa.
and then they just took him out of sight. It's like, oh, he's not going to be part of the system anymore. It's like, I don't care what system you play. If you have a striker getting you goals, you find a way to work him into that system.
Mhm.
And they're just like, oh no, you're out. And they bring in Morata, who obviously flopped.
Oh God,
But,
we had Higuain too for a minute.
Yeah, but
God,
you can't. This whole idea of the system you want to play, and sure, I know Guardiola plays a system, but I know he would have loved to play a false 9. But same thing, Aguero's getting you goals, so it's like, okay, we're gonna play with a number 9 striker because we have a striker, a number 9 that's getting us goals. So I know Conte's a good coach, but in that scenario, play with a number 9 because you have a number 9 getting you goals. Like, it doesn't matter if you're romantic about a system,
yeah, having Diego Costa in your side is better than having him not in your side.
Yeah.
Like he's like the most ideal
Mhm.
player you love to hate. Like if you're like if he's not on your team, you hate the guy. If he's on your team, he's like your favorite player.
Mm-hmm.
Just looking at the stats from this season, just on the Chelsea players, Lukaku has 5 goals in 17 appearances and no assists. That's kind of like a glaring number for me.
Mm-hmm.
Like you have the support around you of Mount and Kai Havertz playing with him most of the time, Ziyech and Pulisic, and you have no assists. So you're showing me that you scored 5 goals, which are, that's good. I haven't gone back and looked at all the goals, exactly how they were scored, but I think a lot of them were probably, handed to him a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Not saying they were tap-ins. He had to do something to score the goal, but I'm saying they were not probably solo efforts.
Yeah.
But then the next stat next to you is 0 assists, when everyone around you has 6 assists, 1 assist, 6 assists, 1, 2, like down the list you can go, and you're throwing a big fat 0 there. That's showing me that you're not playing for the team.
Yeah.
Again, if you're not contributing on the goal sheet by you scoring, you find other ways to contribute. I mean, if I was to go to the same website here, but go to, let's just say Harry Kane. Again, I can't type. Again, we say how he hasn't shown up this season and he's kind of had like a downside. But he still finds ways to contribute. Let's just see what he's got on the assist wise. Don't make me look like an idiot here, Harry Kane. What is happening?
I think you can just see it right there, though.
Goals.
Oh, here you go.
10.
He's not 10 goals this year. He has 10 goals now.
Oh, I guess he got like 3 hat tricks in the last.
That's true.
You
So
know?
he's had a crazy last couple months, but 10 goals and 3 assists still. 3 more than Lukaku.
Yeah.
I mean, those are probably all the Son, but and the goals are all. If you look at Son's,
All 3 assists are to Son. All 10 goals are assists from Son.
there you go. That's what I was trying to say. But again, like if you're not performing properly, you find ways to help out. You find ways to make your team better, and you feel happy when you score. When Lukaku scores, he looks like a pissed off teenager. Like he looks like he's just mad at the world. It's like you just scored, man. Like be happy. Like celebrate a little bit. Like he scored a game in the FA Cup match against Luton Town. Him and Werner both scored that game, which was like that's got to be a first.
Yeah.
In the record books, but he scores and just like turns around, like just like had his head down, no reaction, no smile, no emotion. The guys around him came in, like gave him a hug, celebrated. They had smiles on their faces. He just didn't give a shit.
Yeah.
It's like look like you want to be there.
Yeah. Very, very strange.
It was at home too. The match was at home. Like it's at Stamford Bridge. Like you scored in front of your supporters. They want to see you care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the whole thing. I always like to see when players celebrate when they score because it shows they care. I mean, you don't got to be like, I was about to riff the U.S. women's national team. I'm going to stop.
Ooh.
But
It's good in that conversation.
yeah, you don't got to go like, obviously if you're like smashing a team 5-0, you don't got to go like slide to the corner flag. But,
No, but the game for Chelsea, it was FA Cup and it was a tight game, I think. If I can recall, I should remember this. Yeah, they beat Luton Town 3-2.
Yeah.
Lukaku scored the leading goal.
yeah, and that's what I mean. Like showing when you're pumped about a big goal, like it shows you care, right?
I mean, if you're not,
And it's always good to see.
if you're not, you're like intentionally trying to show that you don't care because you're upset.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, he's trying
Yeah.
harder to not show emotion than it would be just be natural.
yeah, Werner scoring. Oh, jeez.
Just looking at the highlights real quick. I just want to show the guys.
Luton
Lukaku.
Town v Chelsea.
The goal already happened. Whoops. I don't know if it's Luton Town or Luton Town. I'm not totally sure which one it is.
Luton.
Probably Luton Town, I think.
I want to see Wrexham in one of these games.
That'd be cool.
Wrexham. Ryan Reynolds host the Man City players just get creamed.
He'd probably be there in the stadium.
He'd probably be there and then
probably
tweet
watch.
about, or not tweet about, probably post on Instagram. It's like, we got crushed.
He'd be like, "Oh, okay, we're selling the team." Did the goal already happen? No, see, I must have missed this.
68th minute. I think it was.
Oh my god. I'm trying to get to the score sheet. Where is it?
Yeah, 78th
78th
minute.
I don't think they showed the goal.
They're just like, nah.
If we don't want to see his pissed off face. Wasn't it this? Right there.
Oh, there it is. See, look, just
Doesn't look that upset.
well, he just points to Werner, like,
Yeah.
but look, he just scored. Oh, he's offside. That's why.
This got called back when he was actually onside.
Yeah.
So that's what I mean. So I
That's
can't find the
far.
goal. Oh, they gave him the
Yeah.
goal.
They
Okay.
called offside on the field. Maybe they called it back. 'cause it was
Okay, yeah.
actually
So that's
onside.
why I was confused. But
Yeah.
like he doesn't like if that was me. Like again, there's 12 minutes to go in the game. You just scored the leading goal to send your team to the quarterfinal of the FA Cup.
Yeah.
Smile, dude. Like show some like little fist pump or something. He just points at Werner like, okay, good pass, bro. Like
Yeah.
I want to see my players be excited to be there.
Yeah, and I think everyone does, right? As a fan. I think, who was it? Was it Ronaldo? Where there was some player on some team who was getting a little bit of stick from the fans for not
It
celebrating.
was Ronaldo.
It was Ronaldo?
Yeah.
For United?
Yeah. back in the day.
Oh, like
I think
previous United.
a little bit before he went to Real Madrid.
Because he at that time too, he kind of overstayed his welcome with United.
A little bit. I
Like
mean,
he became bigger than the club, which is tough to say. Talking about United 2006, whatever it was.
yeah.
But he was on such a high, such a rise. He was bigger than the club.
Well, because then that's when Real Madrid was like the show, you know.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Yeah, I want to go to Real Madrid and win like every Champions League," which they did, you know. So, yeah.
Crazy.
Mm-hmm.
We touched on it a little bit, but we'll just look at the upcoming matches this week for the big clubs here. So yeah, Chelsea Norwich tomorrow. We'll see if Chelsea can bounce back and see if Lukaku can really show up a little bit. Oh, we didn't touch on Tottenham Everton.
Everton's going down.
Holy jumping!
Everton might go down. Probably.
You know, when I was watching this game, I had the thought again about how Harry Kane's just back in form. And, you know, a few months ago, we were just talking about how he was it seemed like he just didn't want to be there, not getting goals, really poor performances. He's had another 2 goals and, you know, played really well. I think he's just back for Tottenham.
I mean,
safe to say.
What a time to show up! The last quarter of the season.
Yeah, I mean, kind of behind on trying to make top 4 unless they just go on a massive winning run.
It's actually gonna be a crazy show, like towards the end of the year. So we have again. This is it's the most cliche, but like we've touched on it so many times, kind of thing. The EPL is beautiful because you have so many inner battles like within the table.
Mm-hmm.
Like obviously you have the race for the title, you have the relegation battle, which is always coming down to the last weekend, and then you have the fight for Europe.
Yeah.
And our 3-horse race for the title is kind of now a 2-horse race. We've made that clear. Our relegation battle has been one of the more exciting things throughout the season, with the likes of Newcastle and Brentford coming out, you know, Watford and Everton slipping slowly towards it. And then again, like the race for Europe, you have 3 points separating 4th from 7th place, with games in hand being just tossed left and right.
Yeah.
Like it's a ring toss at a carnival. I mean, there's a lot to still play for this season, and we're lucky enough to just watch it all unfold for the next, I don't know, 3 or 4 weeks. Well, 3 or 4 months, probably 12 weeks.
Yeah, we got well, depending on who you are, you got 10 to 13 games left.
Yeah.
Yes, I just looked at the games that I've been playing this week are makeup matches. So like,
Yeah.
I think the most of the teams are in match day 29, but the game tomorrow of Wolves and Watford is match day 19.
Yeah, match day 19.
Aston Villa and Leeds,
Yeah.
match day 20. Southampton, Newcastle, match day 21. Chelsea somehow is already match day 30 against Norwich. While the rest of the league are in match day 29 on Saturday.
Why is Chelsea playing match day 30?
Chelsea's playing their
How
match
are
day
they playing?
30
How are they
too.
playing match day 30 when they've only played 26 games and everyone else only played 28?
They're playing
They've
their
had games postponed.
Chelsea's playing their match day 30 before they're playing their match day 29.
Yeah, well, because I think so. Chelsea's had postponed matches because they've had the Carabao Cup and they had to go away for their.
Yeah, but how are they playing a game?
They're playing
How are they
match
playing a
day.
fixture in the future?
They're playing match day 30
But they
there,
have-
but
they
then
have-
match day 29 is this weekend, and they're playing Newcastle on Sunday.
Why did match day 30 for Chelsea get postponed when it didn't happen yet? I'm confused.
I feel like what's probably happening is they're bringing Chelsea's match day 30 forward.
So they can slot another game in later, maybe.
I don't know. Someone at logistics messed up. Someone find out and report to the Premier League and be like, "Yo,
This isn't correct. Maybe
your master scheduler messed
maybe we
up.
should be the guys. We should call
Your
them up.
master scheduler messed up."
I actually read an article years ago about the challenge of being the Premier League scheduler.
Yeah, must be a
Getting all the
nightmare.
games
Well,
in.
isn't it done by a computer? Didn't we ever talk about this?
No, there's like a manager.
Because I
think
know,
it's
like
like
in
a
hockey,
team.
they just like they put all the teams basically into like a computer system, and it just generates like the season.
Well, I think it does. I think they do that, but then there's like a person who has to go and
Edit.
it because of all the other competitions that go on.
Oh my god.
You have Champions League implications, you have FA Cup, you have Carabao Cup,
Europa.
you have all these things going on. So
International
yeah,
breaks.
you can make a schedule easily just for the EPL, but then you have all the other competitions.
Yeah, it would be like 90% done probably, and the other 10% would be like nuts to do.
I'm picturing like a cartoon thing where it's like this. Okay, this is how the story opens up. You got the EPL office, let's just call it, and it's like a huge building, huge facility. You walk in to the left, you have like a room with like 1,000 people, and that's like the VAR officiating room or something. And you turn to the right, and it's just like a single door. You open it up, and it's just a person like with a little typewriter, and that's like the guy that makes the schedule, or like on an Excel spreadsheet from like Windows 95. And then you have like the VAR room, which is like 1 billion people who just can't figure it out.
Everyone looking at the tackle, can't figure it out.
Yeah, that's my. I'm gonna make that. I'm gonna outsource that somehow. here's my idea.
Make
Go
a
do
video,
it.
our first animated video.
Yeah, that'd be perfect. Yeah, we could probably do that. Yeah, didn't you do that before, like an animated thing?
Mm-hmm.
Like, didn't you do like a cartoon thing?
No.
Oh,
think
you
so.
did like a cartoon for your guys' podcast like years ago. I think you drew something.
Oh, like yeah, it was like a doodle one. I'm
Yeah.
thinking more like have you seen The Champions
No.
on YouTube?
No. Oh, I've heard of that.
Yeah, I was thinking like that.
I've heard of that.
Champions here, it's like where the EPL allocates resources, and someone walks into a room and it's like VAR. It's like $1,000, can't get anything right. You have one person with a typewriter,
Yeah.
doing all this stuff.
Yeah, man.
Oh,
That could take off. Let
that'd
us know
be
if you guys
great.
want to hear that or see that. But yeah, so we got a whole slew of matches this week, whether it's the actual match day 29 or makeup games. 4 matches tomorrow. Probably highlighted by the Southampton Newcastle game, to be honest.
Mhm.
Yeah, I agree.
That'd be a good one to watch. And then on the weekend, your regular Premier League viewing schedule for Saturday and Sunday. United and Tottenham on Saturday, Chelsea Newcastle. We'll see how that happens with Chelsea Newcastle playing midweek against other teams. We'll see how they match up against each other. And then Sunday, the Arsenal-Leicester game we touched on. See how Arsenal can perform against them. See if that carries momentum onto their midweek game against Liverpool. And then on Monday, we have Palace and City. See if, Crystal Palace can be little ball busters like they are and put City in a weird spot come their match next week against Brighton. Oh, postponed. See, there's so many postponed games. There's games already postponed.
Yeah.
Like 2 weeks from now. So this guy is making the script's going to have a time on his hands. Making the script, making the
his
schedule.
job's already super hard without COVID.
He needs vacation.
And now it's like I got like 49 games I got to reschedule.
Yeah, it's probably accurate. 49 games. I don't know how they're going to fit this whole season in.
No.
Well,
They-
I'm thinking how many date to be confirmed.
Yeah, they want to have the season ended by May.
It's like
by
13.
May 22nd is when they want the season to end.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's like a hard date or not, or if they're gonna maybe push some games past that.
I mean, they only have 13 they got to reschedule, and it looks like
But how many of the same team?
Burnley's the most with 3.
Okay, so with
And
that
Leicester.
though, with that they have to stretch the Burnley matches out. They can't replay 3 games in a week or something.
Yeah. Everyone else has 2 besides Leicester and Burnley. Some even only have 1.
So what we're trying to say is we have a lot of footy ahead of us still,
Yep.
and a lot of storylines to finalize and to unpack and unfold.
Yeah, it's gonna a lot of uncertainty still. Probably the only certain thing is Norwich, maybe Watford at this point going down. Burnley's, picked up some points over the last few games,
Everton though, man.
and that's yeah, that is some really murky water that they're playing with.
I'm
Very,
telling
very scary.
the romantic attachment they had to Benitez really messed them up. He actually lost, I don't even know how many games in a row. And they're just like, no, we're sticking by our guy. And now they're where they're at because they didn't want to fire him. But now,
I said when Lampard got hired, I'm like, just don't get relegated and you'll be okay, which is like probably like gonna happen anyways.
mm-hmm.
Since he's been there, it's been a shitstorm,
Yeah.
and they just keep slipping down the table.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
And they gave him time to make moves. Like he did some move making.
Yeah. And he had some really good signings. I mean,
Mhm.
got Van de Beek on loan and Dele Alli.
Yeah.
So they just got to figure it out.
Yeah.
I think it's probably just one of those situations where the players just got to play better.
Which is tough because it's. I mean, there's so many times when the manager kind of gets like the bad rep for it, but it's the players who are playing. Like you can't
Mm-hmm.
like if there's a player wide open in the middle of the field, if Calvert-Lewin's running wide open, and all he needs is a pass from Dele Alli, and the pass like goes wayward, that's not Lampard's fault.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
what can he do?
I think that the players got to share like a lot of the responsibility, but it's tough, right? Can't make a lot of player changes. You can always make a manager change.
Like I don't think it's a 50-50 split. I think it's got to lean one way or the other for responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
I think I think maybe like 70% is players.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, a manager can control like emotions and egos and tactics behind the scenes and kind of set the players up for like where they should be, but it comes down to how they play and perform.
Yeah.
And again, like the things that you can't account for, like hitting the post, hitting the crossbar, getting a deflection that goes in on an own goal or something. Those are the outliers that you can't look at and blame anyone really. But it still comes back to the manager somehow.
Yeah.
Like, if we had a good manager, these goals would go in. Like if we had someone running the show that's doing a better job, like we would, not concede 4 goals a game. They're conceding 4 goals a game because they're playing like crap.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that's probably the situation that's happening at Everton. They're just not getting the performances in. And I hope both for the sake of just Everton as a club and for our YouTube wizard that they just stay up. Because that would be disastrous if Everton...
it would be the
clubs go
biggest
down.
club I've seen get relegated.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I know, I was just reading, I think they breached some sort of financial thing with their losses or something. I'm not super clear, but they might get a points deduction if they're found to have broken the rules.
Everton?
Oh, no.
Yeah.
This is just bad to worse if that happens.
Yeah. I mean, it could be, it's that it could be fines or a point deduction.
Well, they'll take
If they're
fines.
found
they'll take fines at this point.
Yeah.
They'll pay the fine. I'll pay the fine.
Yeah, the points deduction will probably cost them more than the fine if they get relegated.
Oh, big time.
Yeah.
I mean, as far as like big clubs getting relegated, I mean, Sunderland they're not a big club, but they're just a name that's been there forever. Them going down was kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then getting relegated again. And then I'm pretty sure I saw West Ham get relegated once,
I think I saw that too.
like years ago.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Everton, man, they've been there since I've been watching football, since 2003.
Yeah.
They've always been a top flight club, and they've always been hovering around the top 5, top 6 for many years. So for them to have this decline,
Yeah.
oh boy.
Yeah.
Thoughts go out to all the Everton fans.
R.I.P. We're just signing him off already. Like, just sorry, boys. Have a good vacation.
Yeah.
Good luck in championship division. Now, hopefully they bounce back.
Yeah.
Hopefully for Lampard's sake too. He's my boy. Like,
Yeah.
hopefully he can pull him out of the gutter.
I would hate to see that happen to Lampard and just the whole club. Like, said a lot of times with a lot of different teams, just better when they're in the league.
Mm-hmm.
Everton's an historic club. I mean, the fans will never hear the end of it if they get relegated.
Oh my God! Can you
From all the
imagine?
Liverpool fans.
They'll be making up new songs on the spot, new chants,
Yeah.
like just saying how shit they are or something, or like so far down the table I can't even see you. Stuff like that.
Oh, man.
And if Lampard, if they do get relegated, like, is he ever going to work again?
Yeah,
Like,
he's
what
had
two unsuccessful stints you've had in your managerial career? I mean, Derby County was one thing. Like, he kind of had just go coach, like go try out kind of thing, like go see what you can do.
Yeah.
He did well at Derby County, but, I mean, getting the reins of Chelsea, getting the reins of Everton to try and save them as a club. Oof.
Yeah.
2 failures. if they go down. I don't think he'll ever work again.
No, that's
No,
that's a
that's
very
something
tough manager run for sure. Yeah.
I just want to see how this unfolds. I can't wait.
Yeah, it's going to be a very interesting few weeks to the close of the season. I'm just really pumped that you're going to buy a Newcastle jersey now.
Hell yeah.
Because it doesn't look like Newcastle is going anywhere.
I'll have to hang it in the studio here.
Yeah. Just sitting 14th, 4 wins and a draw in their
New
last
ownership.
5.
Loose rumors of Eden Hazard.
Yeah.
Stop.
They got the money.
Oh yeah.
So like, rumors that Hazard wants to leave Real Madrid. Like I forgot he was even there.
Yeah.
I mean, Chelsea's made a lot of mistakes financially and like transfer wise, but I think getting rid of Hazard at the time that they did was huge. I think they sold him for like 100 mil
Yeah.
to Real Madrid, and then like since that transfer, he hasn't done anything with Madrid.
No, he's had a really bad stint there.
Unfortunate in his case,
Yeah.
obviously. Like it's not just a performance thing. He's been injured and missed a lot of time, but I mean, like it's not like Chelsea really missed him because he wouldn't have played. He wouldn't have done anything. So for them to get 100 million for him when they did, I mean they turned around and bought Kepa, so I can't actually be too happy with it.
Got a lot of money for him and then spent it on Kepa.
Oh, the vein in my existence. Pain in my existence? Pain in my ass? I don't know what he is. What is it? The vein of my existence?
I don't even know, actually.
He's a goof. All right, we're just rambling. Are we all done here, boys?
Yep.
Yeah, we're good.
All right. I want to thank everyone for tuning in and listening. As always, you guys can find us on Twitter, Instagram. This video, the audio portion of this will be up on YouTube. Maybe you'll see our faces again one day. Maybe we'll record ourselves and put the video aspect out. But for the time being, we've got the audio, so that'll be up on YouTube. You guys can find us at Footy_Phans. That's about it. We will catch up next week after all of the week's action.
See everyone.
See ya.
Ciao.